So this is video 2 to the first one. So at some point I'm going to forget and not even be able to remember what video I'm on. But anyway, so if anyone, and I'm just going to go back here. So these NPC characters, these Vrill, these aliens, these non-humans, psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists is what they actually are in personality. So, okay, if you're ever on the internet and there's, someone popping up saying, never happened, it never happened, that's a pile of shit, this person is lying, another case of never happened, they're trying to get attention, they're trying to get money, they're, trying to scam, they're just trying to, ruin someone's reputation, they're just trying to, a really good point to this is the genocide in Gaza. Literally, there are people who are getting on now in the comments and saying more, more lies, more it never happened, more, literally, those are the NPCs. Those are the Vrills. Those are the Vrills. You pick them out fast and easy, even online now. So if there's something happening or something odd going on, then look into it. I don't care if you're not a scientist. I know scientists are supposed to run headfirst into that which is unknown. And a lot of times they sacrifice their lives doing that. They end up dying, learning and finding out what's going on. But because of them, we go further in our knowledge and our understanding. The fact that all of society now is built on keeping people away from running headfirst into that which they do not know or understand, and at least silently watching and trying to figure it out for themselves and at least get answers for their own personal selves. The fact that that is fought against in society says everything right there. It means that what these NPCs and Vrills and the aliens that are actually running this planet and ruining it, obviously, are doing is so blatant and so obvious that they have to cover it up. So that even the most biggest idiots, people who cannot even do simple math and reading and writing, they don't have the comprehension to do anything. Even they can look at that and say, that's wrong. That's not right. There's something wrong with that. Something is going on. What the heck is this? This doesn't make sense. I don't understand this. People who don't even understand basic gravity, when you let go of something, it falls down. Even someone who doesn't even understand that will look at this and go, well, that's rather odd. That's out of place. That doesn't make sense. That is how obvious and how out of the closet all of these Vrill, NPCs, aliens, whatever you want to call them, are now. So if there's something happening or odd going on, then look into it. You'll be shocked at the info you'll stumble upon. I was, which is exactly what I did after my NDE. I was just flabbergasted. There are absolutely no words and no way to express it. No words at all in any way, shape, or form to even attempt to explain what I have found out. And usually those who start digging hit gold instantly. And did you notice that if you replace the letter H at the beginning of gold, you get hold? And you also, if you remove both those letters, you get old. G-O-L-D, H-O-L-D, and O-L-D. Interesting, I think, personally. But anyway, that's a little snippet phenomenon. I'm going to look through the other words that I found out. But anyway, that's a tangent. That doesn't totally have anything to do with this, sort of. I'm not going to get into that. So usually those who start digging hit gold instantly. Instantly. In fact, it's so blatant and just lying out there for anyone to see, so superficially covered, that we all have been wondering why. Those of us who are digging into stuff, we've been wondering why. I actually take it as all of these entities are living openly and blatantly, and they see themselves as owning the earth and therefore controlling the earth, and they have no reason to hide themselves. They have no reason to hide what they're doing. There's no reason for it at all, in their opinion. So why would they hide when there's no reason to? Why would they hide when they see themselves, why would I, the owner of my house, hide in my own house? Why would I, the owner of my land, hide myself on my own land? There's no reason for it at all. And that is the way that they're looking at it. And the only way that it's covered up at all whatsoever is because, kind of like how you put something on the top of, you just lay it there on the grass, on the meridian or whatever. And through time, through the movement of stuff, through floods and erosion and windstorms and just people coming along and animals digging stuff up and throwing dirt onto it, it gets covered. It gets covered with dirt. And I think that's the exact same thing that has happened here. Stuff has happened. It gets covered over. It gets ignored, maligned, forgotten. And therefore it gets covered. And there you go. And only if you knew where you laid that thing down in the first place would you go digging for it. You'd have to know where to dig first and foremost. The only other option is that it's been moved and now you got to dig everywhere, which is rather annoying, but that can happen. Oh, ugh. I'm getting the lipstick in my mouth. Ugh. So then I look like I got a mustache or something. Ugh. So, it's just blatantly just laying out there for anyone to see, so superficially covered that we have all been wondering why. It's literally like speaking a different, and this is the other thing, it's literally like speaking a different language. And the split second you start to speak that language and know what these scrawls are, what language is signs and symbols. So the second you know what these signs and symbols are and what they mean, if you sat down and started trying, any English speakers, if you sat down and you started trying to read kanji, Chinese, Japanese, anything, if you started trying to read Sanskrit or the signs and symbols that make up, the Middle Eastern languages, you'd be completely lost. Like Russian, they use the exact same Roman characters that we do. They add some, kind of like a star symbol and whatnot, and other oddball things, but they use the exact same characters. They just use them in a completely and totally wrong order and way compared to us English speakers, those who speak English. Well, literally, it's pretty much the exact same thing. So once you know what these signs, scrawls, and symbols mean, you can read things that have been there your whole life and you had no idea. Literally, you had no idea, none at all. You can see what these entities have been saying all along, and they just put it out there blatantly because they see themselves as owning this earth, and they see themselves as owning nature. And guess what you are as a human? You are nature. You are something to be owned. Some people see it as more like being a good caretaker, owning a cat or a dog or a pet. That's my pet gerbil, that's my pet guinea pig, that's my pet fish. I love them, leave them alone. And then others, they see them as food, that's my dog, I'm going to eat that. That's my rabbit, I'm going to eat that later. That's my fish, I'm going to eat that later. That's my cat, I'm going to eat that later. Humans have eaten everything: horses, snakes, dogs, cats, fish, goldfish. In the 70s, it was a thing to swallow goldfish whole and alive. I think that's horrible for the poor little fish, but still. And also kind of disgusting for the human. But, people are going to eat meat in interesting ways. So anyway, so you can see what these entities have been saying all along, too. So let me see. Wow, I go on. So the next part, I'm just going to cut this video short at the moment, and we're going to put the next part into, because this is all a denial. It's all, I'm talking about the topic of denial. So yeah, I'll put this next part into the next video. So there we go.